Yeehaw! Another segment for Pappy's Corner coming up.
Yeah!
I'm going to show you.
This Dyson Ball Animal 2 needed a cleaning, so I took it upon myself to clean it. And what I found out was the book shows how to take 2 filters out and clean them, but there's a lot more dirt in there that needed to be cleaned out. And I'm going to show you how to do a deep cleaning of your Dyson Ball. First, I'm going to show you what the book shows for cleaning the filter. Take off the tank here, and there's a little lift tab here. Pop that up, and right here's the filter. Okay. Now, like I said, I've got this all cleaned already, but that filter needs to be cleaned. And rinse it out and let it dry for 24 hours before you put it back in. So, of course, when you go to empty this unit, there's a lever right up top here, and you just push down on that. There. The rubber gaskets are kind of tight now because of my cleaning job. So, that's how you empty it. Okay? Now, the book also shows a filter here. Lay this on the side, and there's a cap that comes off here. This will unscrew right here. Almost there. There we go. Take that off, and here's a filter. And this, you have to rotate, and it lifts up out of there like so. And right here is instructions that tell you how to clean it. You can rinse it in water, and then you bang it, and then you let it dry for 24 hours. So this is all, shows you this in the book, no problem. Now, I did leave a couple of things to clean yet, and one is this rubber around here that seals right here on the tank. So it's full of dust. It's a little dusty right now, but I'm just going to use some window cleaner. I don't want to use anything oily because then it'll attract the dust. So there, you can see that looks a lot cleaner, and the rag's a lot dirtier, but come up here. And one other spot here, you can see they have this. Well, I'll try to get it turned a little bit. This little thing here that seals up, and there's rubber around it. I'm just cleaning the dirt up out of that unit. Okay, that flips back. Then there's a rubber gasket around here. I'll clean the dirt and dust off of it. Okay, and that is where it seals up. The bottom of the can will seal in there, and the rubber here will seal up on here. So everything will have a nice tight seal on there instead of having dust between them. What they show you in the book now for this is to turn your Dyson over like so, and here is where you can pull this collar off here, little snap ring type collar, and that will free it from the Dyson unit. Okay, and there's where suction goes, and if you want to remove any clogs or anything, that might be a good place to look. That hose goes right up through the back here. And it does show in the book how you can release a clog right here where this hose is also. Okay, so here on the beater brush, they do show how to flip these tabs back, and you can remove this cover. First, I wanted to show you this feature on here. Snap that back. This adjusts for carpet height. Oops. There we go. Had to snap in. But anyway, it was kind of a spring-loaded rubber piece across here that lets that float. So you don't have to adjust this for carpet height. It does it automatically as you're riding across the carpet. Nice feature. Now back to removing this cover. And this was all cleaned in the sink with soap water. Clean this rubber gasket around here. And be careful of that plug. That plug is what you have to watch when you go to plug it in. See how it moves around? That's because the Dyson ball will rotate as you try to go around corners. And when you return this, you make sure you get that plugged in properly. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the brushes. This is something the book does not show. Sides to the beater bar brush, and you can raise it up and pull there, because it kind of snaps in. There's a drive shaft here and a female opening with a little keyway, so when you replace that, you got to make sure the high spot is on the high spot of this arbor, and then this is positioned properly also, because I found that out trying to put it back together. So now you can go and clean this, and this one will come off of here, same scenario, and put it back together. Now I look to see where my high spot is in my hole, and it's right there. Make sure these are lined up. So my holes will line up to screw it back in. There we go. There's just 4 little screws here. Okay, there we go. And cover back on. Just make sure your little roller balls are on top here as you bring it into position. Okay, here we go. And there's that plug I was talking to you about. So when I put this on, I'll make sure this plug here lines up. There we go. It's all ready. And I'll show you something else that I cleaned on this canister. Okay, lift this tab. And the book does not show you this. It shows you how to take this out, of course, but the canister removes from this upper part, if you know the trick. And I seen there was a tab there that closes in on it. Maybe you can see that tab right there. And around and back here, if you look underneath here, there's a little button right there. If I push that button, it'll help this come off, and there you go. So if you know it's hiding behind this, then you can get this off of there. Okay, and you can go and clean this all you want. We got this all cleaned out. I cleaned those rubber gaskets right there. And what I did, I had to take a screwdriver and I went around and I broke this seal. You'll see there's the seal, and I went right in there with my screwdriver, and I've got it loose right now. I didn't want to get it all snapped back on there, but you can see I even almost kind of boogered it up a little bit trying to get this off of here. And there we go, I'll do it like that, see? But if you keep working your way around, you'll get this off. This screen was filthy and clogged up. I was taking my air hose to it. Okay, if you don't have an air hose, you may want to buy a can of air. Okay, now this can go into the sink, and we washed it. Mama Pappy got it all washed out, and I took an air hose to this, all inside of here, and all inside of here. I blew that all out with an air hose. I blew inside of all these little places around here, and then I wiped it out with a dry cloth, and I cleaned this rubber gasket around here so that that will seal better. Okay, but now that I'm done showing you, I will go ahead and put this on all the way, because I didn't want to have to pry it off again and booger it up anymore. So there, you can see it's snapping on now. But there's a little key notch right here that I'm trying to make sure I stay centered with. Plus these two ribs right here coming down, those got to be lined up also. There we go. There we go. The book doesn't show you any of that, and I thought I would show you. So we'll go ahead and return this canister, and what I noticed, it works pretty good if you make sure you have this little tab here. You see the little tab there at the front is going to go into that slot right here. And there, it's snapped in there. Snapped in here, so that button is hidden behind this right there. Quite the mechanism here that opens that thing up, but now the button is exposed, see. Okay, so here it is. I'll go ahead, and when you replace it onto your ball, you should all know this because that snaps down in, that filters in. But you should already know this, that you set it here and then snap it in like so. Okay, some of the features that this has with this attachment here is this will come up out of here, and your little brush, you have a little button you push and slide that down and it'll snap in down here. Now you have the narrow cleaning tool, or you push the button back up and then you'll have that type of tool. So once this is put on the end here, go ahead and show you this attachment. Now, the reason I tipped it over is so that I can keep it in the view of the camera. An end cap here, open it up, and this slides out just like that. Very simple. Here's your hose. So you can see that the hose has quite a bit of length actually. And once you get it opened up, then you can slide the tube out even further. And this thing will reach quite a ways. Now, here's what I noticed with the unit. This will snap on here. Here it clicked. And there it is. And it will rotate as you need. Then I noticed if you wanted to run this unit, you snap it on here, and it clicks, and it stays there, it doesn't rotate. But if you know a little trick, I'll zoom in and show you. Okay, here it is. I have got this, there's a button right here that you push, and that will release it. So you can see there's a little notch right here where that goes in. That notch keeps it so it won't rotate or turn. But I noticed if you take and you put it on like so, okay, now you have about a 45-degree pivot on this, and that would really help if you were vacuuming and you needed to kind of keep that flat on the carpet, and you have this pivoting action here, see? So, a little something I noticed. So there's the storage for that, and the storage for this unit. Right there, and when you put the hose away, it just lays in here like so, and this slides up into place, snaps in, shows this lid here, and that's for your cord, so that drops down to take your cord off. And there it is, all cleaned up. It's all ready to go. The Dyson Ball Animal 2. So remember, do something nice for someone today. Love ya.